like we need to trade. The Jags need to make a trade for that first round draft pick to somebody who's looking for a quarterback, and hopefully we can get a few picks out of it. The problem is there isn't the flashy guy, and this is what Ryan keeps kind of roasting everybody for.
There's no Trevor Lawrence up there. There's no guy
that
has the name recognition.
So that's what I want to. That's okay. I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm going to cut you off, but that's what I want to get into. So in years past, there hasn't been great success when the quarterback has been the flashy name. There hasn't. Trevor hasn't shown out yet, so we can't count Trevor. Trevor's too soon. The year of the quarterback was last year was a good year, and the year before that when we had it was Jared. I want to say it was Jared Goff. It was Wentz. We had the Rosens of the group. Josh Allen, I believe, was in that group as well. Josh Allen is starting to kind of come out of his shell a little bit. I want to say Carson Wentz.
Now.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Josh Allen was really bad his rookie year.
Carson Wentz was the number one pick, right? That year, I believe. Was it?
No. Here, I'll look it up.
Okay, look it up. But so that was the year of the quarterback where they were flash. I'm pretty sure he was like out of South Dakota State. I'm pretty sure he was the guy, and we couldn't figure out why. I want to say I'm right on that one. But here's some names though. Last year too was a big year. We had the Zach Wilsons. There was Trevor Lawrence. The year before that was Joey Burrow, which was a big year. So I would agree. Yes, the last few years have been huge for quarterback names where we're like, yo, these are going to be the guy. But the guys coming out this year aren't any slouches. We got Sam Howell out of North Carolina, who I think is actually a pretty solid quarterback. You've got Matt Corral out of Mississippi, who isn't horrible. But Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh. The guy's no slouch, right?
He's got tiny hands.
But he broke Dan Marino and Deshaun Watson ACC record for most passing touchdowns in a season, 42, while cutting down on the interceptions. So they're not the big names, like I said, but they're not slouches. Do I think somebody's going to trade up to get the first pick? Hell to the no. There ain't a chance in hell that somebody does that. I think our best option is going to be, I don't think we get any, the way this is going to work is that we're going to have to trade this pick for some later picks in later years. Nobody's going to trade their, switch their 14th or 15th pick to go to number one. Now, somebody who has like the 8th or 9th pick this year might trade their first rounds next year and a second round next year. I see that happening. Right. But do we want to do that? Is it worth that? Unfortunately, there isn't enough name recognition. There isn't enough brand value this year, in my opinion, right? To sell that first round draft pick.
Well, especially for Jacksonville, I just don't see how any of it fits, right? So you have two top flight tackles, right?
Yep.
So you've got Evan Neal and there's another one. Now you do have this kid out of Michigan, and that's a defensive end who looks like a beast. I could kind of potentially see that, but I just don't know especially if you're teaming him up with gosh, it just, the linebacker core, and then the other defensive ends. I don't know. I still just don't see any talent that should be the number one draft pick. Now for Jacksonville, you got a lot of holes to fill. I would back that thing down. There's just maybe even drop it to 3 or 4 and see what you can come up with.
It's just like we said, there isn't value.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I don't see the need.
It's the typical Jag luck.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, last year we had it, and we got Trevor, and it is what it is. But just for the record, the number one pick was Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Bosa.
Jared Goff, that's right.
Yeah, Elliott, Ramsey. Those are the top 5.
That's right. Dang it. I'm disappointed in myself. I do remember now Goff. Goff was like the Trevor Lawrence where he was like the shoe-in, and it was that second pick that was like, hey, where are the Eagles going to go? And I think that's what kind of threw me off is that the first pick was such a shoe-in that we didn't even talk about it. And maybe I think that's what threw me off.
Well, I think that's because I want to say Wentz was like from like North Dakota, and like Goff was from like Cal. Like, so they just had like a different dynamic of the teams that they've played. So everybody's like, well, Goff has played teams. I wouldn't call anybody in the Pac-12 like a defense that's worthwhile.
Sure.
So Wentz won a ton of games, but he played against North
Nope.
Dakota and
that's kind of where these quarterbacks this year are coming in, right? I think people are a little bit more of a shy because of what's going on. And what sucks is that people are like, oh, they're going to trade up for this quarterback. Well, if you look at the teams in the top 10, like Detroit, right now they have their guy. Like those guys, they in a sense they have their guy. So I don't see them trading up. It's a shitty situation for the Jaguars, to be honest with you.